What's up, everyone? Jason and Matt here taking a look at some stacks for tonight's slate. 7 games, a ton of crap pitching. I mean, there's a lot of stacks you can go. I mean, the problem is there's like half these games are just in bad ballparks.
Yeah, I mean, it just you look at the pitching and it's like, wow, this is just so bad. But I mean, like you said, there's just a couple spots where it's even kind
Yeah, I mean, the pitching kind of makes up for it. I mean, Vegas is on board with most of these guys going over 4.5 runs or 5 runs.
yeah, I mean, we talked before. We like a couple stacks, but let's start here with I really like the Angels.
Yeah, Angels aren't a team that I usually stack too often in this ballpark, but I mean, on this slate with Pelfrey going, I mean, I definitely don't mind it. I mean, I'm kind of curious to see if Pujols is in the lineup or not. He's listed as questionable, but I guess Valbuena or Crone, whoever's in there, I don't mind either.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I know it said something about how Pujols has a personal matter, so those obviously take some time. So we'll see if he's going to play. But yeah, I like Cron a lot, and then you have Valbuena. He could still get in the lineup even with both of them playing, and then you got Trout and Calhoun, and if you want to go 5-man, throw one more. I like Danny Espinosa a little bit as a flyer in a GPP.
Yeah, I mean, big power bat there. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, Pelfrey's been one of the worst right-handers in the league for the last couple of years now, and on this slate definitely. So, I mean, despite the bad ballpark, I mean, we're going to be taking some shots in these late West Coast games anyway.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think about the Mets?
Mets, I like the Mets here. I mean, I know Godley's pitched pretty well, but larger sample size, I mean, I'm still not a big fan of his. And I think with the way like Jay Bruce and Mike looking forward to are playing, Neil Walker's starting to come around this month as well. So, I mean, that front four I like quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely the way to go here. He has been pitching well. It's kind of weird because Godley's not that good of a pitcher. But, I mean, shut down Detroit and San Diego. I mean, he did okay, but I mean, those are both in Chase. So, I mean, maybe he's got something going there in Chase.
Yeah, I mean, that could be it. I mean, he's allowing a ton of hard contact to lefties, 36%. So that's one notable thing against the Mets with all those lefties. But yeah, I think the Tigers game was certainly one of the surprising starts for Godley.
Now, what do you think about a team like
Who?
a team like Houston?
Houston, I feel like, I mean, you were talking where it's like they could go a little bit under-owned as a full stack. I mean, people might go for the one-offs and stuff, but against Straley, it's not like Straley's an awful arm, but he's not a good arm either. So I think in that ballpark, I mean, with him on the hill, definitely going to garnish, I think, lower ownership.
Yeah, I mean, I really like. I mean, Springer. I know what he go yard twice yesterday, but I really like him and Altuve and Correa. I mean, I just really like stacking this team. And in this ballpark, I feel like they're going to be really low owned, and they just have a chance to explode here.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, and Vegas is projecting huge runs on both sides. Like, I don't mind a Marlin stack because it's cheap. Like, Yelich is cheap. Ozuna is cheap. I know Stan's been struggling. I like Dietrich leading off. I mean, good lefty. I like the fact that they moved Gordon out of there because he was just a guy who never had tremendous upside.
Yeah, I mean, he's always got those steals, but I mean, he's not going to have any power or anything.
No. So, I mean, it was like you kind of really had to hope that he got on and stole a couple bases to really get in with the stack.
Right. And now I know there's one team here that you really like playing in the Rogers Center tonight.
Yeah, and it's not the Jays, surprisingly. I mean, I think people are going to like the Jay stack, but I like the Braves here. I mean, Bolsinger's a guy who's always struggled with lefties, and given that Inciarte, Markakis, Freeman all hitting well from the left side, it just makes sense. And even Kemp, 390 WOBA against righties this year. Brandon Phillips is hitting over 300. I mean, it makes a lot of sense as a contrarian way to go.
Yeah, I actually wish there was a pitcher we could, pay up for to pair with this stack. But it actually, if you look at their lineup, I'm going to actually have a hard time deciding if I do 5 or on FanDuel do 4. I'm going to have a really hard time deciding who I want.
Yeah, and that's
got those top 5, like you said. And then, like I was telling you earlier, Flowers, I mean, he's always cheap and he's hitting the ball really well. It's going to be kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Flowers is always a good punt play. And I know, you're a fan of tossing catchers in your stacks.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if I do the 5-man, I really like it. Usually if I do the 4 for FanDuel, I'll just pick, those top 4 or 4 of those top 5. But when you get that 5th one, you get a lot of creativity if you throw that catcher in there and he does something good,
Yeah, no, definitely. I think one more for me, Dodgers taking on Matt Cain. Matt Cain, I mean, has notable struggles for quite some time now. The only downgrade here is AT&T, but wind's blowing out 15, 20 miles per hour, which helps. And you look at the prices of the Dodgers, I mean, Seager's priced down a little bit. Justin Turner's priced down. Bellinger back down to where he was before Coors. I mean, not that there's a high price pitcher to pair up, but I mean, you're going to have some leeway with the prices for other bats.
Yeah, I actually really like Corey Seager tonight. I mean, like you said, Bellinger. There's some guys that some of these lefties, and I mean even righties. Matt Cain's horrible that you can that you can play here, but I think Seager is the guy I want if I'm gonna do a one-off in this game. I want to pair him in my other stacks.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I think Seager's a guy just because shortstop a little bit of a weaker position. And look at Cain. I mean, lefties 386 WOBA allowed last year, 404 in 2015. He has a 6% swing strike rate this year. I mean,
Yeah.
He had a couple good starts, but those were just completely lucky.
That's what I'm saying. It's not there anymore for him, and I just feel like you have a chance to load up. But if you do want to go the one-off route, Seager's the way to go with, like you said, because shortstop. I mean, if you're not going Correa, it's kind of like I mean, I guess you could go Segura too, but it's kind of really weak.
Yeah, it is. And for once, I mean, you and I not talking about Arizona at home, and that has a lot to do with the injuries. I mean, Pollock likely going to hit the DL. David Peralta questionable. Zach Wheeler, I mean, definitely not a bad right-hander. So, I mean, it's kind of off limits for me tonight.
Yeah, I really, you know how I am. I really love Arizona, but I mean, if like you said, Pollock's probably if Peralta is out and they throw a couple other bats in here that maybe give another guy a day off. I mean, I think you could fire up Wheeler in some tournaments.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that upside's there, despite what Vegas is saying. I mean, if that lineup shows how it's showing right now, I think it'll be a struggle to get 5-6 runs out of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So no go on Arizona tonight, but when they start getting healthy again, I'm going to go right back to the well.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, anyone else you think we forgot?
No, I mean, I think you should just keep note though that San Fran and Seattle could both be kind of sneaky since McCarthy and Minaya are both coming off the DL. They aggravate something, and you get a team against a bullpen.
That's true. I mean, and you look at that Mariners lineup. I mean, Danny Valencia's starting to come around a little bit more. Nelson Cruz against the lefty is always a thing. Segura. So, I mean, you have a couple of righties that can do some damage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But, if assuming that they're, not the teams aren't just going to throw them out there, that they're actually kind of healthy, I really don't have too much interest.
No, me either. And especially with the Dodgers. I mean, I never know, honestly, with their injury reports.
But I'll tell you one team I'm really staying away from. I think I like Jesse Chavez tonight.
Yeah, White Sox, I mean, they have a couple of value bats, but I'm with you. I think for the most part, Chavez is in a good spot to just kind of limit the damage there.
Yep.
So that's going to wrap things up here for us. You can head over to DaveFantasyCafe.com, check out our great tools and content.